Hello, game 3 here, and there is not a lot going on the board really. There is university, and you have to decide whether or not it's worth it. And I see two stacks of very good 5 course cards, Wharf and Hunting Party, so it is probably worth it. And there's Chapel on the board, so you can get thin, makes Sea Hag not really a factor. So the game doesn't look very interesting per se. You just get thin and then build your engine and smash treasure maps together at the end. So here my opponent opens Chapel. I open with a potion, as does my opponent. Here on 3 I'm going to save this estate because I want to get it out of my next shuffle and pick up the Chapel here. So nearly identical openings. My opponent here, well, I'm glad first of all that I saved that estate because now the Chapel can find it, otherwise it would have been quite a sad Chapel. My opponent here buys a silver. Now I'm not too sure about this silver because the only money you want in your deck is 2 potion so that you are able to buy a university, and here I hold back on the trashing because I want to get the university. University means I get my draw going, and the draw on this board is immense, so I believe the extra coppers won't pose too much of a problem to the deck. Here on 3 I am going to save an estate, and I think about Candlestick Maker, but I reason that it does very little for you. It is a stop card, it doesn't draw anything, and it just gives a solitary coin token. And the plus buy is not even necessary because Wharf is on board. So here I just pass this turn and hope for something better next time. Would have liked to see Chapel on this hand, but unfortunately don't see it. My opponent's potion missed there, so that is a bit bad for them, but they're able to get the university now. Here I gain a Wharf and pick up another university. My opponent plays their Chapel and again holds back just to pick up a silver. Not too sure why they want all this silver in their deck. You just want the universities and lots of them because you can get treasure maps from them and money that way. So now my opponent plays their university to get a Wharf and saves something, picking up another university along the way. So I'm just going to be gaining Wharves for the next little while with my universities. Was hoping to see Chapel here, but instead I find a university to gain more Wharves. Want that card draw up and running as soon as possible, and 2 potion is enough to pick up a 3rd university for me. These universities will serve as great tools for pile control near the end of the game. So here my opponent gains a Wharf with the university and buys a Hunting Party. Hunting Party is not bad at all. I go for a Wharf here, play another Wharf, and with this university I'm going to gain a Hunting Party now. Not really sure why I went for Hunting Party. Maybe because I felt like I didn't have the terminal space to support more Wharves, but I think I did. And I do end up gaining another Wharf here with this university. The Hunting Party can be useful. For example, if you run out of universities or Wharves somehow in some strange shuffle, the Hunting Party can find you those important cards. So it's not terrible, but I think Wharf was still a bit better at that point for me. Pick up 1 here, and here the Chapel of the 2 estates is easy. What is less easy is whether or not to get rid of these 2 coppers. And while I was thinking about it, I accidentally clicked on one of the coppers. So if you click on one, you might as well click on the other one. And I do not get a university this turn. I have a bit of trouble deciding how many universities is good to have because they're stop cards and they don't really... You need a very thin deck to build that draw engine with university as your source of plus actions, then is what I'm saying. My opponent picks up another university here after gaining a hunting party. Here now I've drawn my entire deck, so now I can go for the whole point of the engine, get 2 treasure maps, draw both of them with 1 wharf. Now I can collide them and then draw all 4 goals with the remaining 2 wharves. So here, this is our point to note. If I played Hunting Party, we just draw 1 goal and skip the rest of the goals, and I won't have them for this turn. So you need to use the Wharves to draw the goals, because the Hunting Party will just find one and skip the rest, and that's not what you want. I pick up another Hunting Party with that 3rd university, and now I have 12 potions, so quite a bit of options at this point for me to get university and 2 5s or something. I did not consider pathfinding on this turn, but I should have. So I do get the university, and I have 10 left now. I realize that I played 3 wharves this turn, and I want to play 3 wharves next turn, so I pick up a wharf here, which leaves me with 5. And I do think about Hunting Party, but I opt to save this Hunting Party, because you never know what could happen. I can end up with just a bunch of treasures in my hand and be dead. Just a bunch of treasures and universities and have a dead turn. This Hunting Party will get me out of that sticky situation. And I have 4. I could get 2 candlestick makers, but again, there's very little. I could get beggars for some like quick economy if I wanted, but I just opt for the silver at that point. Makes the Hunting Parties a bit more like labs, and is a bit more economy. Now that I need the economy, I can just get 2 more treasure maps and make them go boom. So now the wharves are cleaned out. What's left to be cleaned out are the Hunting Parties. My opponent gets an armory here with the university. Not really sure why. University gains nearly everything you would want. And my opponent gets rid of their potion at this point and picks up a save and a treasure map. Well, you don't pick up a save, you save something and buys a treasure map. So here I go for another treasure map. So I play the Hunting Party to try to find the treasure map that I gained. Instead it finds chapel first, the second one finds the other treasure map. Now I get the other treasure map, find it, collide it, 4 goals sit at the top of my deck, and I'm able to draw all 4 of these goals with the remaining wharves here. Safe to gain that Hunting Party. I don't think my opponent has enough gains to end the game on me suddenly. I get rid of the potion there, don't want any more universities. Put the pathfinding on the wharves and pick up double province. Again, avoiding that candlestick maker. So here, this could be scary. I could just draw green cards, money, and universities and have a dead turn. My opponent used the armory to get a treasure map at the top of the deck, and they collide the treasure maps there, and they go for 2 sets in 1 turn, and it works out for them. So 8 goals, but they're not able to draw up all 8 goals because, again, they didn't have enough wharves to pull the goals up. The Hunting Parties would just go past them once you have 1 in your hand. So my opponent buys province and duchy, and I see the end of the game here with the university gaining the remaining Hunting Parties and treasure maps. So that's something for you. The treasure maps all finished. Could have collided again here, but opted to just finish up the game as quickly as possible, picking up the last treasure map and some provinces and a duchy. So that is game 3. Thank you for watching. Very straightforward game, nothing too exciting going on here. See you in the next one.